Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. This is Hugo Quintanilla here with another live. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And today is actually a little bit more of a special live than usual. Today, we are actually having some friends over from LinkedIn, Instagram, all at the same time. So everyone is seeing the same feed right now. If you want to see a repeat of today's episode, you can catch it on YouTube. There will be more condensed versions on YouTube as well. So please feel free and check those out. Facebook. We are live there as well. And like I said, Instagram and LinkedIn tonight. So please follow on your favorite social media platform. Leave your comments, questions, and anything you'd like down below. I am licensed in Maryland and can help you out with real estate all over the world. I work with Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville. My phone number is 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com. And my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly humbled to see you all day in, day out for these 15 to 20 minutes a day to learn a little bit more about real estate and how it can impact and benefit those around you. Today, it's going to be a little bit of a different sort of live than our typical lives we've been doing these last few days. Today, we're going to be talking about home sweet home, but together. Navigating the pros and cons for couples from the I do to the we might. Unveiling the unique dynamics of the first time home buying. Today, I wanted to talk to everyone about buying properties with a significant other and the pros and the cons of that. What could happen? Where does marriage lie in all of this? Is there a benefit? Should you wait and get married before you actually purchase a home together? We will discuss a lot of that today. And today, if you have any questions, again, like I said, since we're trying out some new stuff, feel free and leave your questions and comments in the platform of your choice, and we will see where everyone is coming from, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. But for the meantime, let's jump into today's lesson, unlocking the door to home ownership. Join me for a deep dive into the pros and cons of couple buying a home together. Whether you're exchanging vows or navigating the journey unmarried, let's explore the unique dynamics of first-time home buying. And they can be unique. There can be points of, well, am I doing the right thing? Am I actually looking out for my best interest in the future? I'll tell you right off the bat, if you're looking for a definite yes or no, you're not going to get it here. Your barometer, so to speak, for your relationship is your own relationship and your own prerogative. I, as a realtor, am not a marriage counselor. I am not a financial planner. I'm not a tax professional. I stay in my lane when it comes to what I know best. And what I know best is real estate. So I will come to you from the angle of a realtor in this little chat that we're having today. But the long and the short of it is that I can only speak to what the legal protections are in any situation for real estate. But when it comes to what can happen or should happen or will happen in your relationship, I cannot speak to. So I don't say that to say that, hey, couples break up all the time, but I do say that to say that, hey, things happen, and make sure that anyone that you decide to embark on the adventure of home ownership with is a serious person that understands the implications of buying a property and also having it and owning it and maintaining it, because it's not just a cheeseburger. It's We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that are being invested, not just by yourself, but also by them. So we don't want this to go wrong for anyone. And I could go on all day about my own comments on how much one person puts out and the other one, contributes to the transaction. But at the end of the day, I feel when a couple embarks on home ownership, they together embark on home ownership. It is also a matter sometimes of, hey, we're using this person's financials or information or credentials versus this person's financials or information or credentials. That's perfectly fine and good, but as a realtor, I can tell when a decision is being made as a unit versus otherwise. And I think a couple that is on the same page, that understands beyond the love aspect that this is business, they are more successful when it comes to real estate transactions, be it whether they're married or not. I'm not saying that couples that are married are the best at doing the transactions and vice versa. I've met wonderful cases on both sides. But really, you have to do what feels best for you. And if you want more detailed and specific information, of course, I can give you a consultation. We can talk about it more. But for today, let's jump in. The pros for couples buying a home together: shared financial responsibility. Married or unmarried, this is a definite pro. Combined income. Pooling resources can increase the purchasing power. In this day and age of affordability issues, that could be the biggest motivator why we're seeing friends and colleagues and, couples pool their money together and do the transaction. It's not uncommon to have multiple roommates buy a home together. It's just a matter of everyone being on the same page. Shared expenses, sharing the financial burden, including mortgage payments, utilities, and maintenance costs. It's fractional expenses. I had the privilege of working with a group of gentlemen in Bethesda that that's what they did. Between five of them, they purchased a home. So it's not common, but also not unheard of. Another big pro is the emotional investment for married or unmarried. The building a home together feeling, creating a shared space fosters a sense of unity and commitment. The time, the investment, the sense of ownership, that all brings you closer with anyone that you might spend time with in the home. Even if it's just roommates, you share that common space together, and that's your home. It becomes a home between all of you. Long-term investment. Homeownership often symbolizes a long-term commitment to the relationship. If it's between roommates, it really does symbolize that you're in for the long haul in the investment. But it also, and we'll talk about this, it gives you other options. When it comes to a relationship, married or unmarried, it shows that there is serious commitment behind this. Sometimes I've seen the house before the ring, and that's perfectly fine. At the end of the day, the important thing is that the basic necessities are being taken care of. And as a couple, you both are progressing. It's about helping each other grow and rise up, and thus empowering both of each other and building together. That's really what an ideal couple should be able to do with their real estate together. It shouldn't be my portfolio, it should be our portfolio. Potential financial benefits. Tax benefits. Married couples may enjoy certain tax advantages. Equity building. Homeownership provides an opportunity to build equity over time. And really, the pro here is more towards the married couples as they get a little bit added benefit. But still, the equity building is there and the deductions are still obtainable by those that have ownership in the house. So always remember that. Stability for and future planning. Stability. Owning a home can provide a stable foundation for couples planning a future. An investment in future. A home can be an investment that pays off in the long run. An old adage that used to be said a lot when I was growing up was buy a home when within the first year of having a newborn child, because by the time you sell that property at the age of 18, you'll be able to not only recoup the cost of that property, but probably have enough to have a new down payment and pay off the school for that child. There's a very strong likelihood that that will cover the most of it. And that's what usually was done. You would buy a home and keep it for about 18 years and then sell it when the child was ready to go off to school. It would give the ability to downsize and then also a nice, chunk of change to start off a new career or a new business. So those were all things that were done in the past and are still done today, but are less popular since it's become harder just to get the first property for most people. All right. So not everything is all rosy and sunshine either. We do have some cons when it comes to buying properties together. And one of that could actually be the finances and financial strain. A severe con can be financial dependency. Joint financial responsibilities can lead to strain if not managed well. We could have one person paying more, one person covering this month, the other person covering next month. There might not be an equity of what is being given, and that can always be a factor. Shared debt. Both partners are equally responsible for mortgage payments and other joint expenses. If something happens to one of the parties, what happens to the other one? Are you going to be able to pay, or will you have to sell the property? What is the plan for that? That's always something to keep in mind as well. Relationship implications, married or unmarried. Cons. Shared ownership. Deciding what happens in case of a breakup can be more complex. It's probably the biggest reason why you should be hesitant about buying a property with someone that you're not married to. If the relationship is severed, then there's a high probability that it might be more difficult to get rid of the property. It's really comes down to how professional and how mature both of you can be, but pettiness is pettiness, and at the end of the day, these are all decisions that need to be made between mature adults in a meeting of the mind. So we don't want to put you in a situation like that if a breakup does happen. Potential strain. Homeownership and stress may impact the relationship. Just the sheer debt and the impact of that in itself can strain the relationship and make it too difficult. And finances, by far, are the number one reason why most people claim that they are stressed and have divorce. Apart from, of course, irreconcilable differences or um, infidelity, but financial burden is one of the biggest things that really does influence divorces. Less stress, of course, a happier life. So, thinking about these things. Legal considerations. Asset division. In case of separation, dividing joint assets become a legal process. If it does become contentious, we are going to have to get the government involved and the courts involved, and no one wants that. But it's the last recourse if push comes to shove. Complex ownership. Unmarried couples may face more legal complexity in joint ownership. This is in particular if there is some sort of estate where the ownership goes to someone else, and then, maybe the intentions were to sell ownership between each other at a certain point, but now that the ownership has passed to someone else, um, what happens with that agreement? What happens with all of that? Those are all things to think about and talk about that make the ownership of such a property in such a way very complex. So making sure you're working with very reliable people and trustworthy people is of the utmost importance. Of course, things happen, but you prepare for the worst and expect the best. Individual credit impact. Credit implications. One partner's credit issues can impact the other's ability to secure favorable loan terms. And credit history transparency. Open communication about credit history is crucial. I know a lot of couples that are not very transparent about their financial past. And I think that to have a successful relationship, you must have all the cards out on the table. And transparency. You know, one partner's mistakes might impact another's, but talking about it and working together can be a great way to overcome these challenges and grow stronger, more tighter bonds. Tackling the debt could be a great way, together, could be a great way to not only get closer, but also be closer to your homeownership goals in a more feasible, responsible way. Sometimes we all get into debt issues more because of lack of knowledge or, inability to keep up or just one failed mistake when it comes to a paycheck or miscalculation. That's all it takes to fall into financial ruin. So, admitting that, hey, I have this and working with your partner to get out of it is empowering, and it really does help build the bond. Yes, it's stressful, but it does help build a common ground between both of you so that when you do buy that home, it is so much sweeter. I know it's very daunting to save up 20,000, 40,000, 80, $90,000, but it can be done. And when you put your mind to it, so many things can be done. Every day I think about that, how much we can do. And it makes me so happy to know that that's the way that this works. So, to further keep on going, the difference between married versus unmarried for first time home buyers. And this is really the meat and potatoes of the question. Married pros, spousal rights. Legal protections exist for both partners in case of divorce. Easy joint ownership. Processes like joint mortgage may be more straightforward. It's just very clear cut and easy that, hey, so and so is going to have the property if the other person's not around, and who is responsible. It's just very clear cut. You don't have to go hunt anybody down. You know where they live because typically married couples live with each other. Flexibility and autonomy. And this is a pro for the unmarried couples. Flexibility, easier to separate finances and assets if the relationship ends, and autonomy. Each partner maintains individual control over their financial decisions. If they want to buy, if they want to sell, they can do it on their own. It's not really a, hey, hon, what are we going to do with the house this year? It's going to be a, hey, Bob, I need to sell you 65% of my share of such and such building. It's a little bit different conversation, but at the end of the day, it does give you flexibility and autonomy to invest in real estate as you please without having a relationship involved. Now, a con for legal for unmarried is legal challenges. Unmarried cons, legal complexities. Unmarried couples may face more legal challenges in the event of a breakup and asset division challenges. Dividing property can be less straightforward than in divorce cases. And that has a lot to do with how contentious the split can be because it could turn into a he said, she said. And at that point it becomes very, very difficult, especially if it's business partners and one partner's paying, one partner's not, one partner's covering utilities, the other one's not. So it's all things that you need to keep in mind if you're going to be purchasing a home, point blank, period. Now, even more so if you're going to be purchasing a home with a partner, or even if you're married. Think about it and think about, hey, am I really serious about this person? Do I want to buy a home with this person? If you don't, for X, Y, and Z reason, make sure that you communicate that, and don't get this person's hopes up, because we all, at least the majority of people that I know would like to own a home one day. Um, it's some people's dream to travel. So make sure that you're both on the same page and that you understand that, hey, we're both working to our common goal. And stability can be brought about with real estate. So thank you again to everyone that checked out this live. To recap, let's go through some of the key points for today. We looked at the pros and cons of buying properties, married or unmarried, with a partner. And some of the pros were shared financial responsibilities, emotional investment, potential financial benefits, stability, and future planning. And some of the cons were financial strain, relationship implications, legal considerations, and individual credit impact. The major differences for married and unmarried first time homebuyers are the legal challenges. A married pro is that there are spousal rights and easy joint ownership, and an unmarried pro is the fact that there is more flexibility and financial autonomy. But really, at the end of the day, unmarried couples or partners have more legal complexities when it comes to a the event of a breakup, and the division of property can be less straightforward than a divorce case. This breakdown can help couples weigh the advantages and disadvantages of buying a home together, taking into account both their relationship status and individual circumstances. But like I said, every case is unique and different, and you should take time to speak with a realtor, be it myself or be it one of my colleagues, to go over your plans as a family together and where you both see yourself either staying, moving, doing, building, or growing. Sometimes a home is not the best move for a couple, but you have to make that decision. My specialty is to help you negotiate the best deal on your home, be it selling it or be it buying it. But sometimes the conversation that we have isn't about home selling, it's about what is your next step. And if buying a home is your next step and you come to that conclusion, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and I would love to be your realtor. If you have any questions and have any comments or have any feedback that you'd like to leave about the live today, please feel free and leave it on the platform of your choice. My name is Hugo Quintanilla. I am a licensed realtor in Maryland with Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville, specializing in Montgomery County, Maryland. But I work all over Maryland. I can help you out nationwide and all over the world to buy and sell real estate. So if you have any questions, feel free and let me know. My phone number 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com, and my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. Again, thank you so much to everyone for watching this very special test live with so many different streams all at the same time. I cannot wait to see how it went. And again, I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, so we'll do something fun with another topic. But until then, have a great evening. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.